All right. Let's do it. Welcome to the Swifty Podcast, inspiring positive change through design, innovation, and technology. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. This is number 11, I think. Wow, we're into double digits. Today, we are going to be talking about this big word, which is design. And what does design mean to us as a company, right?
Yep.
Our foundations are pretty much based around design because we both studied design. And
so we are a design-led company.
Yep. And this podcast is going to be talking about design indirectly, because design is a really important thing that a lot of businesses use and apply as a mechanism and process. So it's important that we make sure that we reference the actual podcast and what it's all about, because up until now, 10 episodes in, even though our title is Inspiring Positive Change, I guess we've not directly talked about what the positive change is in each of the guests or each of the topics. I guess we don't really need to directly explain what it is, but just to give you an example, the last podcast with Jack, obviously his story is sharing his story is instilling a positive change, because it's such a awesome story to listen to. And likewise, Adam, how he built his business, and Sarah, how she's doing with GreaterSport. They're all quite positive stories. So we thought we would take this opportunity to talk about design.
Yeah, because we seem to have talked about sport quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, sport's a big part of what we do.
Yeah. Being
active. So where do you want to start? You've got loads of notes there. I know you've been researching this whole topic. And
so I guess as a design-led company, what that means is we put importance on good design over
great design.
Not
just good, great.
Over other things.
Yeah.
So we put more importance on that.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that shows in our products.
I think so. Yeah.
But we've had a little chat about what we think design means, and basically it's a mechanism to sort of embody our values.
Yeah, our brand values. Yeah, it's almost like a process.
And our personal values, really. It's not just about the brand.
Well, they're closely intertwined, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, our personal values have become our brand values since it's our brand.
Oh yeah, good point. It's our brand.
But you can't just make up brand values if you don't really believe them.
Yeah, I think I
think that happens.
That's the number one thing. So recently this week I've been doing a little bit of what would you call it? Not mentoring, but kind of just talking about the company to other other entrepreneurs. Sorry, mix my words. I was up in Newcastle this week. I was supposed to be in Leeds, but I didn't feel so great, so I missed that one. With the DIT, Department of International Trade, and Northern Powerhouse. So yeah, we were talking this week to other entrepreneurs about brand values and what it means to them, and it's quite surprising how that term is gets often is overused, and it's kind of like a buzzword that people don't really necessarily understand.
Yeah, also it takes a while for people to actually define what their values are and realise what is important to them often.
Yeah, and it's okay to change, isn't it? I mean, ours have evolved over the years, and it's I wouldn't necessarily it's changed. I would say they've just become sharper. They've
more
become
defined.
Yeah, more defined. Yeah, more defined. We know more and more about what the actual true value is that we are trying to sell and package.
Yeah, so if we just go through what they are, we've got 4 words that we use. in our brand values.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is freedom.
That's a very bold word, isn't it?
It is a bold word, but you know, scooting does give you freedom, and we're not, and that feeling is really important. So I know
it's not so much the essence of, oh, you're a free citizen, i.e. you live in a free country. It's more that word freedom means through the experience of riding one of our scooters, because you're not necessarily using a form of transport that you're familiar with, it's a new experience, and it's quite liberating, because you're going at a slower speed than, say, cycling. You're faster than walking, and scooters are so good at just nipping around, hopping on and off the curb, down the canal path, through the park, and it's a really liberating feeling to be
and
hovering.
That's why we love it so much, I think, because we both, before Swifty, we cycled, didn't we? And why did we change to scooting? And I think that element of being a bit more free about where you can ride, maybe because there aren't so many set rules, you don't have to follow the road, that does give you that extra amount of freedom and fun, I think.
I think that word freedom in the context of it makes you feel free because of how fun it is to ride is really important as well. It's not just the practicality of it being quite a good way to get around. It's the fact that they're fun to ride, and so having that shot of endorphins and being a couple of inches off the ground flying along is liberating, and that's and
I think that feeling gives a lot of people so many benefits. Particularly, we've had a few customers comment on the YouTube channel lately about how riding their Swifty is really good for their mental health. And being outside and feeling like that element of freedom and having fun does do real wonders, really. If you struggle with your mental health,
I think I've just thought of another one, which is also feedback. We have a lot of customers that say scooting reminds them of being a kid, and if you think about it, like when's the time in your life when you felt the most free? This obviously isn't for everybody, but for most people, when you're a kid and all you're thinking about is your toys and kind of like, I don't know, when you can get the next pack of sweets, or I don't know, watching cartoons on a Saturday morning, like that's your world, right?
I think our childhoods are quite different. I didn't have a scooter.
No, I'm not saying like you had a scooter. I'm saying like if something makes you feel like a child again, like it makes you feel free, because remembering the freedom of being carefree as being a kid, is such it's a beautiful memory for a lot of people. And my childhood was fabulous. I had a great time just destroying the house and chopping things up and making stuff, and every toy
destroy the house.
Well, not destroying the house, but I was thinking then. I was thinking about the fact that I used to cut the privets and take out bits of wood and make things out of them, and the neighbours going mental. So that was really what I was thinking about.
Making bows and arrows out of privets.
Bows and arrows, Still got a bow now. One of my most cherished products is my 30th present that you gave me, which was a 35-pound recurve bow, which we shoot in here sometimes. Not today, don't worry. It's all good. But that's something that, I love. So, the idea of taking you back to your childhood is awesome.
So that's our first brand value, isn't it? That's
freedom. Champion freedom.
The next one is
responsibility.
Responsibility.
And under that is doing the right thing. And this was quite a hard one to commit to, because it sounds very what's the word? kind of like, oh, check you guys out, saying that you're Mr. and Mrs. Responsible. But the whole idea, I think, behind this value is that most of the time you know what the right thing is to do. So try and do that as much as you can.
Just in general.
Yeah, in general, it's like it's so easy to go through life and just take advantage of situations, whether that's take advantage of people, take advantage of a scenario that gives you financial gain or gives you status or notoriety. It's so easy to do that, but
yeah,
it can be wrong.
And within the realms of a company, it basically means don't exploit anyone, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Don't manufacture a load of products that are
I'm not sure you're allowed to say on here. You have to beep that out like a beep. Beep. Say it again and then Sol can beep it out in the actual edit. Go on. Say oh, I just said it. Oops. You'll have to beep it. Sorry, audience. But no,
okay.
I mean...
Don't manufacture...
terrible, awful products
really
that go into
quality
landfill.
Products
Yep.
That go into landfill.
Yep.
Or are unsafe and hurt people.
Yep. Don't use exploit workers in factories.
Yeah. So
only using factories that are run by reputable management, have safety standards in place, have happy workers who want to work for you. Ultimately means that your product is crafted in an environment that people care. And I think that's the thing. It's like doing the right thing is because we care. We want to be responsible company owners and leaders, and I think if you lead from the top, then your team and your community will follow. And I think a lot of what we do that resonates. That's why we work with some of the ambassadors that we work with.
And number one really is making a scooter that lasts a long time, that's well built. We could cut corners. We talked about that earlier. So if we cut loads of corners and made a cheaper scooter, you all might think, oh, thank goodness I can afford a Swifty at last.
Yeah.
But
you'd have to sacrifice too much, though. In our opinion, to justify that price, you'd have to use substandard components.
Right, I see.
You'd have to design the frame to be different, so maybe it wouldn't be as strong.
Maybe it wouldn't ride very well.
Oh, the experience would be totally different. Yeah. So we're not prepared to compromise on our users' experience. The experience is number one.
Because it's part of our brand values, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's what we believe in doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To make something that could easily last a lifetime if you look after it. So that's what we do.
Rolls on to... Oh, I've said it again. I keep saying roll on. It's such a cheap shot, isn't it? I don't mean to say that. But moving on, next
swiftly on
brand value is quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
And quality is not just about the quality of the product, but the quality of the execution of all of our business decisions. Even just this podcast, trying to... And
customer service as well. Make sure we're helpful on the phone.
It's a bit more than helpful on the phone. Come on, we pretty much bend over backwards for our customers. We really do. You mean a lot to us, and we love your support. So shout out to all of our Swifty customers who are now avid listeners to this podcast. If you're not a customer, you're in the wrong place. You're not allowed to listen. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. We've had some great feedback from the podcast, haven't we? I was joking. Come on, I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. I'm only messing. It's good to be nice and relaxed.
What you meant to say is you got to join the club.
Yeah, come on, join the club.
Get on the website.
Yep. Let's talk about quality a bit more.
Yeah, so...
what types of quality are we talking about here?
Well, it's mainly in the product, isn't it? Long-lasting product, but also the design. good design.
Mm-hmm.
We've said we're a design-led company, and great design in a scooter means that it's awesome to ride, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's taken, years and experience and miles of scooting to get to where we are. And I'm sure a lot of other scooter designers haven't ridden as many miles as we have.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Well, a lot of the scooter design that we see out there is it's copy, paste, repeat. It seems like they all follow each other when it comes to geometry, proportion, the riding experience, the usability. I think it's totally copy, paste, repeat.
Yeah. And we just love that 16-inch wheel, don't we?
Well, it's a really good balance between comfort, ride, and speed. And if you go too small, you go smaller, then you compromise on that. And so it's not just quality products, it's quality experience. So quality design and quality process allows you to execute and deliver a quality product which delivers a real superior experience.
And ultimately what happens is that's when people really fall in love with that product.
Yeah.
And a lot of products that we own and have around the house or whatever, you don't love them, do you?
What product do you own that you love?
My Swifty.
You're not allowed to say that.
Love it. My bike, I love.
Your bike, yeah. Okay. What else? Anything else?
Well, we were saying, weren't we? You grow to love your tools, don't you? So in your workshop, you love tools.
I didn't grow. I love my tools instantly.
Okay.
Like, instantly.
You love your tools so much, you keep buying more tools?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of tools and machinery. But they are a very functional object which delivers a very specific need, and I like the way that's really uncomplicated. It's like
you like the utility.
I love utility, yeah. I think
that's often the case with a lot of really good design. Is it is grounded in utility.
Yeah. So if you take, I don't really want to do a whole podcast about the design history, but one designer in that stands out is the whole Dieter Rams movement. So he was the German designer that designed a lot of amazing Braun products back in the day.
Form follows function.
Yeah, and that kind of whole
quite minimalist.
Yep, and the whole kind of focus on the function is a huge part of what we do with Swifty. So everything has a reason, functionally wise, to exist. It's not like, in the 80s we saw a lot of kind of wishy, swoopy design, which was like just experimentation in form, in shape. It didn't really suit a purpose. It was almost like we took the beautiful shapes of the automotive industry and applied that to furniture. It's like, that's a bit strange. And we applied it to fashion. Shoulder pads, perms. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit different. I think we're talking about product design, really, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm talking about product design. What do I know about fashion? I know nothing about fashion. You're the fashion expert.
Woolly jumpers.
In your woolly jumper. Nice and warm. Winter's coming. So that covers quality as a brand value.
Yeah. One thing, though, we haven't really touched upon is when we're talking about design and why we think Swifty is such a good design. What about colour?
Yeah, colour's a very important choice, and that's your bag completely. You do you do all the colours.
Swifty is known for being colourful, isn't it? Because a lot of brands are just like, black sells the best, we'll just do black.
It's true, though. It does.
It does sell the best.
I keep looking at the camera, behind the camera, for people who just listening, but behind the camera that Sol's recording on, there's our Swifty display, and there's all the colours are right behind the camera. Sorry, you can't see it. Maybe we'll show you a photo in the post.
Colour is so important.
It's really important,
and for that reason as well, that you then start to love something because of you love the colour.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, isn't it?
The interesting thing about colour is it's so personal. Like whenever we bring out a range, you're never gonna satisfy everyone. People are going to be like, oh, why have you dropped this colour, or I want that colour, or can't you do an orange, or can't you do a red?
Yeah, loads of people have said that they love the orange. And when we did the orange colour in 2016, it didn't sell very well.
No, it didn't.
So should have bought it then, because we didn't repeat it.
Yeah. But I think colour is subjected also to kind of like the season as well. Like, I think colours sell better at different seasons. I guess the one constant is that the darker, more conservative colours are like a constant staple.
Yeah,
I think it's just easy to make that decision. If it's like the anthracite, which is our dark, almost black scooter, it's just easy to make that decision. Whereas if it's a colour, you have to use a few more brain cells to figure out whether it resonates with you. You got to think about what your friends might think. You got to think about what the public might think. Scooting down the road, what outfit it'll go with. It's all decisions you got to make.
Do you think that might be partly why Swifty has like a 50-50 gender split in the customers?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we do some cool colours.
Yeah. We need to go over our last brand value, because there's 4. So let's recap. Freedom, responsibility, quality, and the last one is innovation. So innovation is also innovation is the result of great design process, and innovation to me means
design the result of great innovation.
No, because design is a process. And in the context of what we're talking about the form and the function of an object. And the object is a scooter. So deciding what that form looks like, how it functions, is the design process. And in doing so, you can deliver innovation. Innovation, to me, is where you take a subject matter and you make it better. You enhance it. You develop it. So you stand on the shoulders of somebody else, or you stand on the shoulders of an idea that already exists or completely doesn't exist, and you can build it and make it better, make it more impactful, make it more powerful, make it more the result. What
do you mean by impactful?
So the desired consequence or the experience that is a resultant of that thing is better, is enhanced. Or you see change. It's not always for the good. You can have innovation that has a negative effect. It's not always good. So there's many design innovations or iterations that failed. Concorde is a great example. Concorde failed. It was an innovation at the time. Never, we'd never crossed the Atlantic at such speed. Broke the sound barrier. Wow, amazing. But ultimately it failed. It didn't carry on as a...
Why did it fail?
I think the primary reason was it was so fuel hungry. It used so much fuel, and compared to how many people
failed.
How many people you can actually carry. Yeah.
Was it safety?
I think there was a disaster as well. Yeah. I can't remember. We studied it at university. We did a whole subject on
Concorde.
On air disasters and failure in design. Shout out to Steve Pryor, my old tutor. He taught that module. If you're watching, Steve, hope you're well. Here we are years later talking about your teaching, so thanks. Not like I remember it all.
I was going to say.
Paraphrasing you. Anyway, innovation is super important for what we do, and it's pushing the boundaries of what already exists, trying to make it better, trying to enhance it, trying to listen to our customers.
And it goes back to the beginning of when we started Swifty.
Yeah, exactly.
There wasn't a scooter like ours.
Yep. Yep, there wasn't a good folding adult scooter with large tyres.
There are now, though. It's funny that, isn't it?
Oh, we bucked a trend. We were at the forefront. We totally are. I mean, I think we're 9, nearly probably 10 years into the concept of what we were thinking. Not 10 years as a business, but 10 years of the concept. And 10 years later, it's great. There's loads of scooters. I think the more, the merrier. For the fact that a lot of the big automotive companies have designed scooters that follow our form factor. So the BMW X2 City, there's the Mini concept.
Yeah, how many Swifty copies can we...
Well, that's really flattering. I think it's great.
Can we list?
I think it's great. And
there's one in South America that looked almost exactly like a Swifty.
Yeah, but it was...
I don't know what's happened.
Somebody who can't weld...
Yeah, it looked
welds
like
that
a
together. It's
DIY
awful.
Swifty.
It's great. Okay. I think more the merrier. I think more people out there building scooters is great. It's good. They advertise the space. And then if you want the best, you know where to come. I mean, joking. So there are brand values.
Why is that a joke?
Because I don't want to come across like,
This isn't a sales pitch.
Yeah, it's a sales pitch and you can only buy ours. If you don't want ours, go buy it somewhere else. That's absolutely fine. We don't mind. We'd love you to come and join our community. But if not, no problem. What have you got next on your agenda there?
That's about it.
That's about it?
Yeah.
That's everything?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yeah. What we were going to mention is the show we're going to next week.
Yep.
We're off to Paris.
We're off to Paris. So by the time you're listening to this, we've already travelled to Paris because we're leaving on Monday. So if this podcast goes live on Tuesday or Wednesday, then we're already in Paris. We're at the Autonomy show, which is...
it's all about urban mobility.
Urban mobility.
So it's a show that's been going for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, what's our stand number? Our booth number?
E06.
E06.
We're in the active mobility section. Please come and find us.
Can public come to the show?
No, you have to get a ticket.
You have to get a ticket, okay. You can buy it on the door, can't you?
Yeah.
I think they're doing good deals at the moment, actually.
Well, we've got 10 free tickets.
Some of those are allocated, though. But if you're stuck, then send us a tweet or a message, and we might be able to get you in for free. So we will have a 3 by 2 meter booth. We'll have the Swifty Fleet there. We've got some great meetings lined up, talking to customers who want to invest in fleets for their businesses. It's really cool. A little bit like you might have heard the podcast with Sarah from GreaterSport. Her staff are now collecting scoot miles. So every time they scoot a mile, they get actually paid for scooting rather than using a taxi or using their cars.
So this particular company called GreaterSport,
one
of their main mission statements is to have a really active and healthy workplace.
Yeah.
And they have a fleet and they incentivize physical activity, i.e. scooting, by paying people 20p per mile.
Yep.
And when they use it during the working day. So whether it's to meetings or to lunch or whatever it is, you can earn 20p back.
Yep.
Which is like great, isn't it? I think that's a really good incentive.
Yeah, I think it's also important to point out that we're getting quite a lot of feedback at the moment where people are coming onto our Facebook page and they're just leaving comments like, illegal, why are you selling scooters? And people are really reacting to the fact that electric scooters have been in the press. And it's just really important to point out that we do both. We do active scooters and electric scooters. And they're quite right. Electric scooters aren't permitted on the pavement or the road. They're only permitted on private land, like canal paths and parks. In the UK.
No, don't say canal paths, because you have to have landowners' permission.
Okay. Yes, technically you should have the landowner's permission, but come on, let's have some common sense here. Like, if you take our scooter and you ride out the back along the Irtwell, you're not going to get into trouble. You're not. And I'm I think it's absolutely fine to let's just have some common sense.
On an electric scooter.
Yeah, you're not.
Well,
if you mow down someone and hurt someone, that's a different thing. But let's just have a little bit of common sense about, scooters, and not just have this whole knee-jerk reaction of you're breaking the law and it's legal. There are thousands and thousands of people in the UK riding electric scooters.
I think the only scenario where you're going to get the big fine and 6 points off your licence is when you're driving dangerously.
Yeah.
And that's what's really illegal, is driving dangerously on anything. You can be on whatever. Yep. So, and I think that's said with kick scooters as well. You can ride a kick scooter, but just don't ride it dangerously.
I think we need to just be a little bit calmer and a bit more pragmatic because there's a lot of voicing off going on, and we're finding that we're having to defend ourselves, and people are not looking at actually what we're advertising and what we're saying, and we make it very clear that we have active and electric scooters, and we sell all over the globe. Like, we sell all over the world. Like, you can buy a scooter in Hawaii and we'll ship it to you, no problem. So I just want to set the record straight. It's important to be open and honest about it.
I think that's Facebook though, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
It's not a new thing that's happening. We're getting comments on Facebook.
Yeah, sure. But it's okay to talk about it and mention it.
Yeah.
So it's been a really busy couple of weeks, hasn't it? And we have been live on our crowdfunding journey as well. So if you don't know about it, all the links are on the site and everything. So it's really cool. We're 57% funded, which is great. This is going to help us with the next phase and evolution of the business, where we are connecting our active and electric scooters to the Swifty app, and that'll allow us to track where those scooters go. So this isn't about trying to get your personal data or anything, or infringing on GDPR. This is about understanding how the products are used, where they're used. And the really cool thing about it is that if we can understand how many journeys are taken on our scooters, specifically for a fleet operator, so for someone that's got a large business, we're trying to figure out a way of whether we can get that carbon accredited, which would mean that it goes towards actually reducing
the carbon footprint
of the company, which is really exciting.
Yeah. So the whole data thing, our app isn't just to data mine everybody. That's not what our app is about. It's about incentivizing people to use more sustainable modes of transport. Yeah. Which is what we're passionate about, right?
Yeah, of course.
So that's what it's for. It opens up a new market for us, which is in the corporate fleets. Mm-hmm. So selling a premium product into a private fleet, which is app-enabled. Yep. And that's what we're working on. That's what the Cedars Race is all about. And that's what we're going to be exhibiting at Autonomy in Paris.
Yep, we'll have a fleet there. You can come and try them. Go for a little whiz around.
Lots of new changes happening, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're going to be filming the journey to Autonomy, which is pretty cool. So Sol's got a lot of work to do at 4 a.m. on Monday as we start the drive. Well, I should say I'm driving the whole way. But it should be fun. So we're going to be in Paris all week next week, and we're going to probably try and shoot a podcast from Paris, but you're not going to be there.
I'm not going to be there.
It's just going to be me.
Yep. Got to go to parents' evening. It's true. Kids.
So who else have we got coming in, coming soon? We've got a couple of really cool guests.
Polly's going to come in
on
a podcast.
Yep.
Really excited about that, one of our ambassadors.
Yep.
And we've done a video on YouTube featuring Polly called Swifty Stories, and that's done really well on YouTube. Yeah. It's a really nice video.
Yeah, Polly's a amputee, so she's got this really cool electric prosthetic leg, which is it's like out of a science fiction film.
Yeah, even that's got an app.
It's powered. It's so cool. And she scoots along with her scooter, and she's another amazing, wonderful human being who in the face of adversity has gone on and taken control, and it's amazing, really amazing what she does. So she's coming on, she's going to tell her story. I'm trying to get Liam Hopkins in from Lazarian. He's a friend of mine. He's an amazing designer and maker. He makes on his...
I think they're just going to talk about tools, apparently.
Yeah, he's got way more machines than me. It's not fair. He's just done a really cool series of... have you seen his shark? His floating shark on Instagram.
So good.
It's sort of cool, isn't it? So he's going to come on and he's probably going to talk about that project and all the amazing stuff that he does.
I think we should wrap it up.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
It's Friday night.
It's Friday night.
It's cold.
It's not that cold.
Freezing in my hands.
Oh yeah, you're always cold though. Need to scoot more.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for washing. Thanks for washing, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. Episode number 11. It's cool to be 11 episodes in, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we're ready for the weekend, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, it's been a busy week. Thanks for watching.
See you in Paris.
See you in Paris.
Not me.
Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usuals. It really helps us get a bigger following. Please send in your comments. We do respond to comments. We love hearing from you. Brief apology for the stereo audio that we were doing on the previous podcast. It will now be mono, so you won't hear me just in your left ear and Camilla in your right ear if you're listening on your headphones. Apologies for that. All right, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.